Hi Pikeknights, welcome to my office. Clear water usually means realistic colors, at least for me. But today I'm putting that to the test. 2 different lures of each color, 30 minutes per color, and I have to switch no matter how it goes. And trust me, the results surprised me. I thought I knew which color would win, but I was so wrong. It's mid-December here in the Swedish archipelago. The weather has been mild with wind and rain, which reopened the water after a thin layer of ice. That means the pike are still active, and the water is crystal clear in these shallow areas. It's perfect conditions for a color test. Normally I go for realistic colors in clear water, because pike rarely commit to something that clearly doesn't look like real fish when visibility is high. Natural patterns just blend in better and trigger that instinct to strike. But in mid-December the pike are stiff from the cold and not chasing aggressively. So today I want to see if bright, flashy colors can trigger more reaction bites. Let's put them head to head and see what works best. So here's the plan. I'll fish for 2 days to make sure the conditions aren't just favoring one color. By spreading it out, I can see how both bright and natural patterns perform when or if the weather shifts. It gives a much clearer picture of what actually works, not just what works in one lucky day. I'm using 2 bright lures and 2 natural ones, just to make sure it's not the action of a single lure that decides the outcome. This way I can compare the colors fairly without one specific model skewing the results. It's all about understanding how pike react to color, not just to a particular lure. For shallow water I will use the Skinny Wolf 13 cm. And I will use the color Slime Shad and Frösö Shad. For slightly deeper spots I will use the Illex Dexter jerk in the 10 cm version. And the color I picked out is Hot Orange and Rudd. Each color gets 30 minutes before I switch, and the total fishing time will be 8 hours, so 4 hours per color. Every pike that ends up in the boat goes into the logbook, and at the end, whichever color catches the most pike wins. Day 1 offered fairly calm conditions, with shifting clouds and a westerly wind reaching up to 6 meters per second. Right, first stop. I'm gonna fish with Baitcaster and a spinning reel, just to make sure that it isn't dependent on what type of gear that I'm using. So I'm gonna mix things up. I'll leave a link in the description on what type of gear that I'm using, so you can see that in detail. I'm also making a big review about the new Beast reels, so both the Beast spinning reel and the bait casting reel in the 200, 300 and 400 size. I actually asked my followers on Instagram what type of color I should start with. So 70% think that I should start with the natural color. Your wish is my command. So we're going to start up with the Wolfcreek Skinny Wolf. This color is called Frösö Shad and it has a natural tint. So we're going to start the timer at 30 minutes and as soon as the bell rings we're going to change color. But we're going to start up with the natural one and see how it goes. Boom. First cast. Nothing on the first cast. That can actually be a good thing. I don't know how many times I've been out catching a pike at the first cast, thinking that, oh, darn, this is going to be the best day ever. And then I catch nothing for the rest of the day. So it's actually pretty early in the morning also. So it's usually, this place usually starts up just before lunch. And it's 10 in the morning right now. So we might need an hour or so for the fish to wake up. But it's a nice wind, overcast. So I definitely think we're going to catch some pike here. Just need to get them started. And maybe change color. Oh, I had one. Damn. That was a strike. Here we go. Boom. First pike. I hope so. Yeah, it's a pike. Nice. Natural color starting strong. There we go. That was like 4 minutes in. You can see, this is what I mean with the pike being sluggish. You see all the leeches on it. It means that they are close to the bottom. Just waiting for something to swim by. Look at the colors on this one. Awesome. Back you go, buddy. You can actually catch big perch and even trout. But I think it's pike that are most active right now. You can even catch eyed and you can hook bream. There's a lot of bream going here. And that's why you have a chance on bigger pike. I have a 20-pounder here, but that was in October, and now we're in the midst of December. So one of my friends catched a 110 centimeter pike yesterday. It wasn't on this spot, but it was in the same area. So there are definitely big pike in the vicinity. So fingers crossed, pikeknights. Fingers crossed. Considering that the pike had so many leeches on it, I actually think that bright colors will be the better idea. But time will tell. Natural colors are, as I told you, my go-to baits for, or go-to color for this clear type of water. But sometimes you really need that extra bump to make the to make the pike attack. So we got, let's see, we got 20 more minutes with a natural color, then I'm gonna switch over for a bright one. So nothing more on my first stop. So we're gonna head down and pick a new spot and see if we catch something else. Something more. There we go. I really have to work with my tempo because I usually fish pretty fast. You might want to slow things down when I think the water temp is like 4 or 6 degrees maybe, even colder. So slow down. I'm actually quite eager to try the bright color now, but we still have 14 minutes to go. Patience, young Jedi, patience. Yeah, really slow this morning. I usually have 2 or 3 strikes at least. Like I said, we might need some bright colors to kick them off. Just 1 minute remaining now. Then we're going to change spot and change color. Only 1 pike up so far, which is very slow, given the place and time that I'm fishing. I really hope we can get them kick-started with a bright color. Or maybe they just need to wake up. As I said, it's pretty early in the morning, considering the sun goes up at 9. So I think give it another hour and I think the fishing will be much better with any type of color. Final cast maybe? No. Time! Right. So only 1 pike up. I'm gonna hydrate, drink some water, and move down a little bit and change to the next color, which is slime shad also from Wolfcreek. There we go. It's a bit of I wouldn't say rain, but it's like sprinkling down water, so sorry if there's going to be some water on the camera lens. Right, here we go. 30 minutes. So bright colors. There we go. First cast. The Wolfcreek Skinny Wolf really has an action that is shallow. I have the Illex Dexter yoke, that's why I got 2 different type of lures, because the Dexter yoke will go a little bit deeper, and if they're standing at the bottom and are really hesitant to strike, it might be a good thing to have something that goes a little bit deeper and closer to the bottom. So that might be the trick. If we don't catch any pike on the slime shad, then I actually think we need a different type of lure. So it's a good thing that we have the Illex Dexter yoke to change things up. I'm getting a bit aggravated right now. I really was hoping for more strikes. But the fishing is super slow. This is actually a good thing, and that's why I choose to do this over 2 days and not just 1. Because you can really time a day when the fish are just so inactive that it doesn't matter if you throw a hand grenade in the head on. They're still not going to give up and bite. So we got 15 minutes now, so it's half time, I'd say, for the slime shad. Still no pike. We only have 1 pike up so far on the natural color. All right, no pike so far. I think it's like 2 minutes left. The first half hour with the slime shad of the bright color. 1 pike on the natural one. Super slow fishing, but we're going to change things up and start with the Illex Dexter yoke instead. That goes a little bit deeper, as I told you, and hopefully we can turn things around and start giving you some action. I mean, there are so many pikes in this area, so it's so frustrating that none of them are biting. I mean, it's like hundreds of pike in here, and they're all like, no. They are being very French today, I think. And that's time. So 0 pike on the bright colors. So we're going to go from the Skinny Wolf, and we're going to start up with the Illex Dexter yoke instead. This is the one that I picked as a natural color. I think it's called Rudd. It is actually a slow sinking version. The hot orange, the other color that I have, is a sinking version. But even the slow sinking version goes deeper than the skinny wolf. So I think this might be the trick. Let's go. We actually get some sun. It's not that cold today. I think it's like 6 degrees or something. Start the timer. Make sure the lens is moist free. There we go. Time for some natural colors. This is actually so strange, pikeknights. I usually get 5 or 10 pikes when I'm fishing here, and it's very, very rare that I have this type of poor fishing. So always when you're filming. There we go. There we go. Nice. That was actually a hard strike. No, it's bream. It's actually a bream. That was, I thought it was a perch, but I think it was a bream just swimming into the lure. And here we go. Well, that doesn't count. Here we go. There are big bream here, so there are hopefully some bream eaters here. Let's find out. There we go. No! No! That was a strike though. That was pike for sure. Oh, it's bream. I think there's like a big school of bream outside. It's a little bit deeper here, so I think they're just swimming around and I'm just bumping into bream all the time. But where there is bream, there might be a big pike, so keep on hammering. There we go. No, it's bream again. I felt like thump, thump, thump. And then this bream comes up. There's so much bream here. I think it's a bream. Yeah, it's a bream. You can actually catch eyed here too, so that's why I didn't mistake this for a pike, but here you go, buddy. Sorry. My boat has a really flat bottom, so as soon as the waves come, the sound comes on. So I'm sorry for the clickety-clack sound from my boat, but it's a John boat, so it is what it is. There we go. I think maybe it's a bream again, but no, it came off. Ah. I think that was a bream actually though, so it's either bream again or it's just some pike that are a little bit careful when they strike. It's not that bad intentions, but dang, with only one pike up, it would be super nice to actually get another one up in the boat. The wind is actually picking up a little bit now, so it might just do the trick to get this party started. I'm actually quite tempted to try something bigger. You know, with the schools of bream that's lurking about, there might just be a really big pike or several big pikes here. Stick to the plan and the competition. 2 minutes left. We only have one pike up. We have two. We actually have more bream than pike, which is kind of depressing. I have 2 or 3 strikes. It probably was from pike, but it's hard to tell with all this big bream lurking around. So I think we're going to go for one more cast, and then we're going to switch over to the hot orange color on the Illex Dexter and move a little bit further down towards that island. One more cast. There we go. Final cast. We actually kept. Oh, I hope this isn't the bream again, but. And that was the final minute. That was really the final minute. So please be a pike. If it is a pike, I think it's actually a decent one, but let's see. Yeah, it's a pike. Nice. And it inhaled the lure. Look at this. Set the timer off. Look at this. A bit short, but really stubby and strong. So we have 2 on the natural colors and nothing on the bright ones so far. Back you go, buddy. So nothing on bright colors so far. So we're gonna change things up. And we're gonna go for the hot orange. This is bright as they come. And this is actually a sinking version, so if they are close to the bottom, this will be perfect. There we go. Nice. This is a pike for sure. That was no question about it. There we go. Yeah, it's a pike. So bright colors won, finally. They just really, they needed that bright color. Op. Yeah, thank you for the, a little bit longer, but not as thick. All right, so finally a pike on the bright color. And just like I told you, it actually might be because these are going a little bit deeper than the skinny wolf. I noticed that a lot of times when I've been fishing and I use lures that goes too shallow, and I don't get any bite at all. And then I start to fish a little bit closer to the bottom with another lure, and boom. So we'll see. So now we have 2 pike on the natural color and 1 on the bright color. There we go. All right. So it's still 2 to the natural and 1 pike up for the bright one. We're gonna stop the alarm and we're gonna switch back to the skinny wolf in the color Frösö Shad, or the natural one. There we go. First cast with this is actually a pike. Nice. It definitely seems that like the natural colors are the pick of the day. So number 3. Oh. I think this is the smallest one for today, but it's still a pike. It's in the boat, so it counts. Number 3. So we have 7 minutes remaining. So I will make 2 or 3 more casts, and then we're going over for. Oh, we have 3 pikes on the natural color, and we have 1 pike on the bright color. I think I have 5 or 6 bream actually. No. There we go. Nice. That was a really careful strike, and it's so small. But it's number 4. Small one, but still counts. Number 4. We have 4 minutes left, so I'm actually gonna just let the boat drift. Right. One last cast. There we go. Nice. Just as the lure, I mean, it just touched the water and the pike was at it. So this is number 5, right? Opa. Here we go. Yep, it's a pike. Natural color. Pike number 5. You see the leeches. Sluggish they are. Nice. I actually think it's gonna be time to change. There we go. I thought I hit a stone actually. But then I felt the, oh no, it came off. Doesn't count. Still 5-1. Sorry, slime shad. There we go. Nice. Finally. Oh, it T-boned it. Just look at this. Boom. Just in the final seconds, we catch this one. So it's 5 to the natural one, and bright colors get 2. So one last half hour with the natural color. We have 5 so far on the natural ones, and we have 2 on the bright ones. Oh! Natural colors ends up with 5 on the first day. Alright, pikeknights, that was the end of day 1. We ended up with 5 pikes on the natural color and 2 pikes on the bright one. We're gonna fish for one more day, but before we start up with day number 2, I thought that we were gonna head back to my office and talk a little bit more about what type of bright colors and what type of natural colors that I usually pick. I usually rely on the following natural color patterns as my go-to choices. These are the shades I trust when the fish are cautious or the conditions call for something more subtle. Dirty Roach, a true classic that delivers in almost any condition. This is the color pattern that has produced our 2 biggest pike to date, both weighing in at over 12 kilo or 26 pounds. Ayu, a more Asian-inspired take on the classic roach pattern. I'm quite fond of it for its cleaner, more refined aesthetic compared to the traditional roach colors. And while it's not always my first choice, it can be absolutely deadly on the right days. Blue Silver, as classic and irresistible as popcorn at the movies, and an absolute must-have in any tackle box. The Blue Silver has been around for years, but is still king for many anglers. And on some days, it's the only thing that pike are willing to strike. When it comes to bright, high visibility colors, they always make it into my gear one way or another, and here are my 3 favorites. Red Black. Not the brightest color out there, but still one I strongly recommend having in the boat on cold days. It may look understated, but in low temperatures it can be surprisingly effective. Parrot. If you've spent any time pike fishing, chances are you've come across this color pattern. It's one that has produced the most pike over 10 kilo for us at Pikeknights, which makes it an absolute must-have in our eyes. Bright Green. For those of us who fish on Lake Mälaren here in Sweden, this vivid green is a color you quickly grow attached to. It has proven incredibly effective in murky water, especially when the lure includes a few white accents to help it stand out even more. Enough about colors. Let's move on and take a closer look at how day number 2 turned out. This was a day with different conditions, and it definitely brought its own surprises. Day 2 followed a couple of colder nights, and about 1/3 of the area was covered in ice when Marcus and I arrived. We actually had to chop our way out from the boat ramp just to reach open water. The wind picked up during the day, blowing from the southwest at up to 10 meters per second. Since I started with a natural color on day 1, I started with a bright one this day.
Eller? Nej, det är en gädda. Nice. Not the big ones, but... On this particular day, the brightly colored lures really seem to deliver more strikes and more fish. Nice! Oh. Back she goes. Jag sitter den direkt. Så. Min avkrokare. Fet. So it's a fat one.
Va?
Back you go, buddy. Här är gädda. Yep. Told you. Nice. When the weather calmed down, the roles reversed and the more natural colored lures started to work better. Ja, fin då. Day 2 was coming to an end and the bites faded away as time passed. This day was a clear win for the brightly colored lures, with more than twice as many strikes and a final score of 9-8.
The bright colors actually came out on top, completely opposite to what I expected, and a great reminder that fishing is never predictable. Even in clear water, the wrong color can be the right choice. This reminds us that fishing is never an exact science, and there's always something new to learn. Our theory is that the wind made the pike more aggressive, and then the bright colors triggered those reaction strikes, while in calmer conditions the natural colors were a better choice. The fish simply had more time to inspect the lure, so anything too flashy looked unnatural. When the water settled, solid patterns blended in and felt more like real prey. We hope you'll join us as we keep testing, learning and evaluating what might work best, today and in your waters. And now I want to hear from you. What works best for you in cold, clear water? Natural or bright colors, or maybe both depending on the weather? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your experience can help others feel confident and make the right decision. Whether you fish bright colors or natural patterns, the important thing is getting out there and enjoying the water. If you want to support the channel and help us create more videos like this, you can join us at Patreon. It truly makes a difference and keeps Pikeknights growing. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of the fish, and hopefully, I'll see you next time.